All right. Good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Chris Maley. I'm the Vice President of Operations and the Training and Education Coordinator with Property Panorama. Today, we're going to be going over the various tools that are available to you through Property Panorama, including the InstaView virtual tours, Intensify digital advertising, neighborhood insights, and even a little sneak peek at some AI that we have in the coming month that will be available to you. But before we jump into that, I just want to give you a little bit of background information about who Property Panorama is and the things that we offer for you. So we've been in the industry since 2002, and ever since then, our mission has always been to connect consumers directly to the agent. Now, we are a digital marketing solution, and we provide tools designed to help advertise listings and brands online. As of last week, we are currently integrated with more than 280 MLSs and associations. So I do need to update the deck. But aside from that, that does attribute to over 1 million unique visitors per week to our tours. Just to give a quick overview of the products that are available, first and foremost, the integration that we have with your MLS is going to trigger us to build an InstaView virtual tour for each and every single listing that's entered into the MLS. Once you activate your listing, it's going to take about an hour, and you're going to get an email from us letting you know that your tours are available. We also provide you with ways to access your account without ever needing a username or password. Those are going to be available through the SSO directly in your MLS, and I'll be showing you those login paths here in just a few slides. But as a whole, we do give you the unbranded virtual tours as well as the ability to upgrade and include branded tours, listing flyers and video or postcards, listing videos, and the digital portfolio, which is an agent landing page. Basically, it's a website that hosts all of your active listing inventory and several different ways for consumers to reach out directly to you. And instead of going through it over here on the list, I find it's best to probably show you. So, as I mentioned, the InstaView virtual tour is created within 1 hour of you entering your listing. You can see on the screen right now that that is the branded virtual tour. On the left-hand side is the desktop or laptop version. On the right is the mobile version. The reason that you see three images at once, that's just because it fully uses that portrait mode on the phone at that point. Now, if a consumer were to turn it sideways, that's going to put it in landscape and it's going to look exactly like it does on the laptop. But we have added a few new features into the InstaView virtual tours with our last update last year. First and foremost, we do have a quick access photo panel now. This is so consumers can focus on the areas of the listing that interest them the most. We've also updated the details tab, which is found typically on the right-hand side of the screen. This gives consumers the listing description as well as the property features itself built into one page. As always, we are integrated with Google Maps. As long as the address of the property is mappable, it will function as intended. If you do have a lot listing or maybe new construction, there is a way to turn that off, and I will show you how to do that as we get a little bit further into the presentation. The branded tours also have lead capturing capabilities, as well as consumers can share the tour directly from here. And then you also have the ability to attach any other marketing tool that you have that is a web-based tool. So if you have a dollhouse tour, a drone video, anything of that nature, you can attach it directly to the tour. That way, it makes the tour a one URL solution for you. You only have to send out one link, and your consumers would have access to each and every single marketing piece that you have for the listing. This is just another way that that looks if you wanted to attach it in a list form. If you have a lot of different marketing materials, these are just some samples. Again, Matterport, drone videos. If you have a floor plan, that can all be attached in that one location. So that's just a quick run through of the tours themselves. Now, there are additional materials available to you as well through the same upgrade, and that would be flyers and postcards. Now, for a digital marketing company, we get a lot of demand for these. The reason for that is not only do they work great as print materials for, say, like an open house, but they also work great as social media tools. You can download as an image and post it right to your social media accounts. Speaking of social media, we offer two different forms of social media syndication. First and foremost is our automated syndication. If you're on one of our flat rate plans, which is the monthly or annual, you can automatically syndicate to your Facebook business page, X, LinkedIn, and YouTube accounts. All set anytime you have a new listing, anytime you have a pricing change, it's going to make a push directly to those accounts for you. As far as one click is concerned, if you had any time that you wanted to make a post outside of a new listing or a price change, you can do that at any time you want. And I'll show you where that one click is as we get into the account. We also do offer TurboText if you wanted to have a sign writer at the property. The way that it works is you put the sign writer at the property, consumers text the short code that you see to the 844 number, and that's going to send the virtual tour directly to their mobile device. And you're going to get their contact information in the form of a lead, which leads us to the next spot where there are several different lead capturing elements to the InstaView virtual tour and the various other branded marketing materials. We're going to keep track of that for you. Anytime you get a lead, we're going to send you an email, let you know exactly the details that they left us, and send it right into you. That way, there's no middleman involved. It goes directly to you as the listing agent. And then, as I mentioned, the digital portfolio, which is also part of that elite monthly or annual upgrade. Again, it's a landing page, has all of your active listing inventory, as well as places for your biography, testimonials, and a really convenient contact form for consumers to reach out directly to you. Something that we've implemented in the last couple months are single listing websites. So that's also part of the digital portfolio. These are fully customizable, color theme and everything. That way it can be fully branded to you and have your marketing colors as you want them. Now, here's just an example of what it looks like full screen. Obviously, we do have several different templates. And because you have MLS pulled data coming into your account, it's going to be a little bit fuller on the left-hand side with a little bit more data. But if you move on down the line just a little bit, you'll see that you have the full active listing inventory. If you have more than 3 active listings, clicking on that view more tours will take you to a page that has your full active listing inventory. And then scrolling down just a little bit further, as I mentioned, those testimonials, biography, the testimonials will cycle through how many ever you upload to our system. And then, as I also mentioned before, that contact form down at the bottom. So I know, really quick run through just to show you those products. But now we're going to go ahead and start getting into the system. But the first question that we always get asked is, how do I create the tour? Well, within your MLS, when you're doing your listing input, make sure that the following options are marked yes. That would be internet display or display on internet or internet. It varies in verbiage from MLS to MLS, but they all have that same internet verbiage in that part. IDX is another thing that you want to make sure is marked as yes. And then the other one would be the include InstaView tour, include create free virtual tour, include property panorama. Like I say, each MLS is just a little different in how they word it, but you'll get the idea when you get in there and see the field. So that is directly within your listing input. And then within that 1 hour time frame, we're going to create the tour and we're going to send the links directly to you in an email. We're also going to send the link directly back to the MLS to be attached to your listing. When you receive that email from us, it's going to have both the branded and the unbranded virtual tour links. However, if you are not upgraded, That branded tour link is only going to work for you. It's showing you a sample of what your tour would look like. The other question that we get asked the most is, how do I access my Property Panorama account? Well, that email that we send you does have a direct login link that's going to log you in directly to your account. The ones in the emails, however, do expire. Those links do expire, and that's just, to protect your account for your safety. But within your MLS, you do also have what they call an SSO, or a single sign-on. So if you're in Flex, it's Products Property Panorama, Matrix Links Property Panorama, so on and so forth down the line. So I'll just leave this up here for just a moment so you can write down that path if you need it. All right. So once you do go through that SSO or through that email, you're going to see a page that's similar to this. This is your member dashboard. This is essentially the heart and soul of your Property Panorama account because you can access everything from right here. If you haven't already done so, the first thing that we always recommend is setting up your account. That would be giving yourself your profile picture, your company logo, making sure that your contact information is how you want consumers to reach out to you. And we'll be going over that right now. So, first and foremost, profile picture, company logo. If you see a box here that says profile picture or a box here that says company logo, those are just placeholders. They don't show up on anything. But if you click on them, it will prompt you to browse your computer to upload the image that you want to use. Likewise, if you wanted to update the image, you would just click directly on the image you want to update, and it will again prompt you to upload the image that you want to use. We'll be getting over into the phone numbers here when we get to the next page, but I want to go ahead and cover what's on here first. So you have the profile picture, company logo. We already went over that, but we have the digital portfolio right up top. So this is how you are able to share your digital portfolio as well as edit. The edits allow you to change template. They allow you to change the color theme. They allow you to change the images that are used in the backgrounds. So it is, again, fully customizable to your marketing needs. Directly to the right of that is where you would get the statistics and or leads that come in specifically from the digital portfolio. Moving on down just a little bit further, you have My Listings. So it's going to have your 3 most recent active listings right here. If you have more than 3 active listings, just like the digital portfolio, a few more listings. That'll take you to a page with your full active inventory. You'll notice here that it says licensed. That's because this is an upgraded account. However, if you see upgrade there, that is one of the ways that you can upgrade to have the full branded and unbranded virtual tour options. Right below that, you see promote. This is where you can purchase an advertising campaign specifically for that listing. And then you see buttons similar to what's underneath the digital portfolio. The share icon is acts a little differently than it does for the digital portfolio. And that's because there are more listing level tools that you're able to share or download. So that's going to take you to a page that has all of those materials. The edit is going to take you to the tour editor where you can adjust the photos, the color theme, as well as the music that is played on the tour itself. Just like above, this is the statistics and leads specifically for that listing. And then if you've created a PDF flyer for your listing and set it as the default, that's a quick access tool to get to your default flyer. And then finally, settings and syndication. This is where you can set up your automatic syndication to Facebook, X, and YouTube, as well as LinkedIn. All right, so we're going to jump back over now to account. I saved this one for last. Over on the left-hand menu, going to account is going to take you to this page here. And this is where you can adjust your email address, your phone numbers, add your biography, your testimonials, all within this page. The first thing that I recommend is making sure that the phone number you want to use for each and every single marketing piece is in this first spot here. Give it a title, mark it as primary. It's going to automatically save for you. So make sure it's in that top slot, whichever one you want on each and every single marketing piece, because that's going to take priority throughout the entire system for all of your branded materials. Likewise, you can also add if you have a personal website. Now you're going to see a second block over here where it has office name, office website. That cannot be edited within our system. The reason is that gets pulled in directly from the office page of the MLS. So it gets pulled in through that MLS feed to us. So any changes that happen in the MLS will automatically apply here within about an hour. But once you're happy with that page, let's go ahead and go to the other account-wide settings, which would be that settings and syndication right from the left-hand menu. All right, so when you get to settings and syndication, you're going to see all of your social medias up top. Marking it as yes, logging into the account, and giving us the permissions to post on your behalf. It's really that quick and that easy. You go through 3 pages for authorizations, and once you give it the final okay, we're going to be able to make posts on your behalf for any new listings or any price changes after that point. With YouTube, it's going to automatically start publishing those videos to your YouTube channel as the what YouTube calls quota is available to us. So if you have a fresh channel, you might only be able to upload one video per day automatically. That's just the way YouTube handles things after they had a lot of spam going on through their channels. If you have a more seasoned channel, you already have a couple of videos up, then you might have 2 to 3 that can be uploaded per day instead automatically. So again, the more you season your channel with videos, the more you can upload each day. So if when you first sign up and for the automatic YouTube, you might see a delay in some of your listings getting up, and that's just because they set that quota for you. But once they're all uploaded, typically you don't have multiple listings going up and down in the same day, so it'll flow naturally as well as it can. Down below, that's our email notifications. You can opt in or out of any of our email notifications that you want. But down at the bottom, you're going to see lead notifications. So those lead notifications are anytime somebody fills out the form on your digital portfolio, on your virtual tours, if they do the turbo text feature, that's all going to come to your email address. You can also opt in to have that come directly to your mobile device if you mark yes for SMS. And then down at the bottom, I apologize, it did get cut off a little bit, but that's where you would enter in the phone number that you want to use for your SMS. The nice thing about that is you're not going to get any of the notifications that you see up top through your mobile device. You're only going to get leads directly to your mobile. All right, so that covers the settings and syndication page. The next thing we're going to want to cover is those listing level marketing tools. So the share icon underneath the listing is going to take you to a page that looks like this. Now, if you only see the virtual tour block and the rest of it says upgrade for this tool, that just means that you don't have the upgrade purchased at that point. Once you upgrade in your account, it'll automatically populate all those fields for you. But first, you're going to see your branded and your unbranded virtual tours. This is where you can copy the links directly. You can also copy the embed code if you wanted to place it on, say, your own personal website. We also have a QR code that takes consumers directly to the branded tour as well. And then on the right-hand side of that, that's the one-click syndication I was talking about, where you can click directly on the logos and it will pull up a post in the account that you're already logged into, and you can send it right out from there. Below that is the pro flyers. So that's the flyers and postcards that you saw earlier. Like I said, we do create a basic 3-photo flyer, but if you click on create manage, You can create your own customized flyer in one of our 26 different layouts. To the right of that is another way for you to purchase advertising for your listing. Down below that is the video that gets uploaded to YouTube. You also have the opportunity to download it to your own device. The reason for that is because up until recently, when YouTube was having their issues, it was a manual process. But we find that a lot of agents have requested to keep that download feature so they can share it with their clients as a keepsake from their property. To the right of that is the TurboText. This is where you can download the blank sign writer and get the TurboText code that is unique to this listing. We recommend using 2.5-inch mailbox lettering and filling that blank field in with that. That allows you to reuse the signs over and over again because all you'd have to do is replace those stickers as that number changes. Finally, down at the bottom is the media link section. This is where you would add those additional resources, say your drone video, your Matterport tour. Just place the URL in the first block. So get that link in there, give it a title, a description. You can adjust which icon it uses. And then once you submit your changes, that's going to automatically be on the tour. So now that we've gone over all those materials, let's go ahead and edit the tour. So that's a little pad and paper that's underneath the listing. And you'll see on the first page, a lot of this is grayed out. The reason for that is because that is all MLS pulled data. Anything over there that would need adjusted would need to be adjusted in the MLS. Once it's done there, we update hourly. We'll have it on the tour for you as soon as possible. This is also where you can adjust the Google Maps display. So, like I mentioned before, if you have a lot listing or a new construction that Google doesn't know what the address is, this is where you can turn that off right at the bottom where it says display Google Map. On the right-hand side are the listing descriptions. Now, the unbranded description is 100% MLS compliant, so that's pulled from the MLS and locked. The branded description, however, is going to go on your branded materials, so you can adjust that. Just make sure that you are still staying within the rules and regulations for marketing within the MLS. The next tab is the photo section. So we've done a lot of changes to this section, and we've got a couple more that are coming next month, and I'll show you what those are towards the end of the presentation. But you get to this page, if you wanted to adjust the photo labels, the order of photos, or anything of that nature, you would just click on the Add/Manage Photos button, and you're going to see a screen like this. This is where you can upload additional photos that you don't have in the MLS, or if you wanted to stitch several of your photos together in a panorama, you can also do that on this screen, just in those top two buttons. In regard to the photos that are from the MLS, you can click on the image, give it a name, give it a description. Now below that where it says, make this my primary photo, what that is it's not placing it first in the tour or anything like that. That is making it the featured image for your social media posts. So if you wanted to have maybe an interior shot for your social media post, but your first image is an exterior shot, it's not a problem at all. You just have to make sure that you mark that off as your primary. Additionally, if you wanted to hide any photos, so if you had, say, duplicates or triplicates of a room where you felt that you only need one of the images, you can hide specific photos as well. And then finally, to reorganize the photos, we tried to make this as easy as possible. It's just a click, drag, and drop. So once you're happy with your photos, moving on to the next step is going to take you right to the theme editor. This is just giving you a quick preview of the colors of the tour right now. If you're not happy with it, you can change theme up at the top. And this is what you're going to see. You can adjust the colors of the header, which is this top banner here. The footer, which is down here at the bottom. The photo panel, you can't really see it right now because this is a sliding image, but it's going to be the background color that's behind the image. And then, of course, the contact tab and the details tab. Not only can you change the background color, but also the text. And then where you see the opacity, that's how much background is going to show through each element. Once you're happy with those changes and you feel that it matches your brand, go ahead and click on save. Now you're going to get prompted here asking you if you want to use that for all of your future tours. You're also going to be asked if you want that to be the default for all of your active tours. The reason for that is a lot of agents want to keep that brand recognition, want to make sure that all of their tours look the same. So giving it that uniformity option just by clicking yes on both will apply it to all of your tours now and all of your tours moving forward. Moving on to the next page, this is technically the last page of the manager. And this is where you can adjust the music that's played on the tour as well as the photo effects. So if you like the zoom in, zoom out, leave it as is, or you can turn off the Ken Burns effect on the right. As far as music's concerned, we do have a library of 75 different songs. However, you may have something that you wish to use instead, where you can upload your custom audio. It could be a voiceover, it could be a music track. I will say that if you do want to use something that you would hear on the radio, that can get rather expensive because you do have to obtain the proper broadcasting permissions. There are different options available out there, though, called royalty free music, where you can usually find something that captures the same feel, the same vibe, and it's significantly cheaper. We're talking maybe 8 to 20 bucks for a lifetime license for a song, as opposed to hundreds, even up into the thousands for commercial music. Um, and if you wanted to look into the options for those radio hits, BMI, ASCAP are two of the big ones that hold most of the licenses. So if you did want to dive into that, you're more than welcome to. We just say that it does get very expensive because we've heard some agents say that they've spent $800 and they only got to use a song for a year. So again, just throwing that out there to let you know. Once you're happy though on this page, it's going to take you to your final preview, just to make sure that you're happy with any and all the changes that you've made on the tour itself. That wraps up the InstaView portion of the presentation, but we also do have, again, those additional materials that are available to you through the upgrade paths, as well as I do want to show you some coming soon things before we wrap up. But first, let me go ahead and just show you neighborhood insights really quick. This provides local content and local demographics, consumer facing. So consumers that might be from out of the area or not overly familiar with the neighborhood, it's going to give them a really large breakdown, not only of the income, employment, total population, or the spoken languages in an area. So it gives you those demographics, but it also gives you local content. So transportation scores, uh, distance to the different schools. So if you have how many elementary schools, how many private schools, how many high schools, it's going to give you all of that within a specific distance, lets you know if it's walkable, bikeable, uh, how the public transit is for it, as well as amenities. So any grocery stores or shopping centers, that's going to give you a really inclusive breakdown. It does start off at 1.3 miles around the property, but consumers can zoom out to really get a full view of the city itself. Likewise with the character. Now, the character is one of my favorite tabs, and that's just because not only does it tell you if it's vibrant or if it's quiet or if it has a busy nightlife, it also gives you that breakdown on a sound score. So it lets you know how noisy or how quiet that area is. Directly to the right of that, you see the nature tab. That's going to be your green spaces, your parks, community pools, stuff like that. And then wellness is your gyms, your hospitals, doctors' offices, um, pharmacies, anything that would be considered health, wellness, or fitness falls under that wellness category. So again, it just gives a little bit of a broader look for consumers that may not be overly familiar with the area. Neighborhood Insights is available to you at a flat rate. That's $22 per month or $225 per year, and that's for unlimited listings. So if you do have a larger listing inventory, it is going to, be beneficial at that point. And if you wanted to include that with InstaView, so bundle the two together, it's only $3 more per month, or it's $25 more per year. So you're getting some pretty good savings just by going into that bundle option on the InstaView portion. Because InstaView is traditionally $9.99 per month by itself or $109.89 per year, and that's for the fully upgraded version. So you're, like I say, you're getting a pretty decent savings just by doing that bundle. And then the other tool that is currently available to you is Adtensify Digital Advertising. We provide either image-based or video-based ads, and those are placed on the web and social media. So if you look on the left-hand side, you'll see that there is an ad with the banner ad up top or within the natural scroll on the mobile device. This is what's called premium placement, and we're making sure that the eyes are getting on your ads instead of getting them buried at the bottom of a page or at the bottom of an article. Another thing that we don't do is we do not include mobile games. We don't want people clicking on your ads just so they can get a couple of gems in a game. We want to make sure that all of your clicks are genuine and they're coming from sources of consumers that actually are looking for real estate. Our ads are targeted towards consumers that are already showing the signs of being interested in purchasing or selling a home. They're going to the major portals, they're looking up mortgage interest rates, doing those types of steps. So those ads are going to get placed in front of them in that priority method on the sites that they visit. So you can see some of the sites on the right hand side, but there's literally tens of thousands of sites that the ads do get placed on, including Facebook. The basic targeting is a 15-mile radius around the property. However, you can also change that to up to 3 zip codes or a specific city of interest. Ultimately, you're the expert when it comes to knowing who is buying homes in your area, where you should focus your marketing dollars. So you are definitely able to adjust that as such. Also, we have a lot of coastal regions. So 15-mile radius, when some of that goes out into the ocean, might not be the greatest way to go. So using those zip codes or those cities of interest might be a better option for you at that point. So that was for the static ads. Now, the video ads are a little bit different. The average person spends about 40 minutes online per day, and that's on social media itself. Now, that 40 minutes, they watch anywhere from 50 to 70 short form videos through their scrolls. That's just an average number. These are the ads that are intended to get in front of those eyes. As you can see, you can fully customize it with your portrait, 5 different photos from the listing, give it its own background color, the text and tagline for the top of the post. And these are going to get placed not only within the natural scroll videos, but also within the short form videos as well. So that's just a quick look at the video ads, fully customizable. This is what it looks like when you're on your natural scroll. The biggest benefit is the ability to share. So it does help out the algorithm even a little bit further. So if a consumer were to share it with, say, a friend of theirs that they know is looking for a property, it does help boost that even more. And then if you wanted to increase your exposure, you can always add more Facebook or Instagram into the mix for the static ads, or for the video ads, they already have Facebook and Instagram. You would just be increasing the exposure at that point by adding 1,000 more ads by using Adtensify Plus. All right, so this is the part that I've been waiting for. I'm really excited about it. And the reason for that is I've been doing a lot of the personal testing on this, making sure that it is 100% right when it comes out the gates to you. We're going to be doing AI photo editing. It's sort of came on the heels of California introducing a bill um, establishing how to properly label any edited images. So not only does it have to be properly labeled, it also has to point back to the original image. So in our process with helping our California MLSs out, we decided that we were going to be able to do this and make sure that you're MLS compliant across the board. So you can see that we can edit the photo. I just did this one really quick, gave it a twilight filter, and you can see 15 seconds later, it did a fantastic job turning on the lights in the house, having that exterior light turn on, and giving it that really nice orange sunset. Now, I know that one thing that you have to do as an agent is properly represent the property. I did this just to see how far we could push the AI. So I know you wouldn't be doing something like this, but I was having a little bit of fun, said that I wanted to paint the walls that I circled and fully carpet the floor instead of having hardwood. Completely did everything that I asked it to. So I'm confident that once we do have this product available for release, it's going to meet all of your needs and more because you could not only use it for that, but you could even virtually stage or declutter a property just by using this tool. As we get a little bit closer to launch, I will be sending out some educational materials as well as those MLS notifications just to let you all know that hey, it is coming soon, it is ready, and we'll give you the full breakdown at that point. But that does cover everything that I had for you today. Again, I do want to thank you for attending. I also want to invite you to follow our blog. That's at blog.propertypanorama.com. That's where you're going to see our latest news. That's also a great place to see when we do our launch of the AI photos. On the heels of that, we're also doing AI videos. Those should be coming up, I would say, anywhere from 2 to 4 months after the release of the photos one. For our training videos, youtube.com/property panorama. And then, as always, if you need any assistance, our support team is available Monday through Friday Eastern Time. It's 9 to 5. And that's at support@propertypanorama.com. You can call the number on your screen. Option number one is going to take you to our InstaView staff. Option number two is going to take you to our advertising staff with our AdTensify product. And then finally, you can also use our live chat, which is in the lower right hand corner of each and every single page of our website. At this time, I would love to open the floor to any questions that you may have. Just use that Q&A button, and I will be happy to answer any questions you may have about our system. All right, at this time, if you don't have any questions, again, thank you for coming, and I hope you all have a wonderful and successful rest of your week.